the best route that people find out about our virtual lunch and learns. And I'll just get started. Welcome everyone. I'm Monica, the community manager at the Village Hive Duncan Mill location. And I'm joined by my cohort, Mitch. You can give a wave, Mitch. He has his screen on from the Village Hive co-working space. And this is my virtual background, so that's why my hands are fading in and out. But this is the Duncan Mill location co-working space in North York. And Mitch is at Yonge and Eglinton. And we are part of the Village Hive, which started with Charlotte Kirby in Markham in 2016. And the Village Hive is meant to be a place or a really great workspace that you can come and work and be focused, but you're surrounded by like-minded individuals, whether you're remote workers, solopreneur, entrepreneur, digital nomads, copywriters, whatever, but we're here to support each other. And it's a great way to network. We have a lot of tools and resources to help you. We do a lot of marketing and digital signage and things like that would normally cost a lot extra. So we usually do that as some perks and benefits. And we have great partnerships with places like Good Lawyer and Owner and Lighthouse Labs for the techies. So, copy and print, all these different things that we offer at our co-working space, which is not just a place where you have a desk to work, but we have a great way for you to network and to build your business. And Mitch and I and Charlotte, we're kind of like the concierge. So, if you're racking your brain and you need help with something, you're looking for a graphic designer, you want to do a photo shoot, we usually have quite the repertoire of professionals and that we can help you with your business, because our goal is to make you successful. And if it's something that we've never even thought of, we will do our very best to figure out a way to find a solution to help you or put you in contact with the people that would be able to help you. And I have to say, I am so excited about today's Lunch and Learn, because we haven't been able to do our, come with a boardroom with your lunch and we'll network and chit chat, because hopefully that'll come back one day. But right now we're building our virtual community. And Tanya Porter is one of the Village Hive Markham location's first members, and she has been phenomenal in helping. I know that when I was at the Village Hive Markham for a year, you were in like all the time, and you were doing your drumming classes and your coach, or like your wellness or meditation. You were doing so much for women in the community that were, maybe struggling with times then. And now you throw a pandemic on top of it, which makes people, just lose it a little bit more sometimes. I think this is great that you're able to join us today and, help us be centered and put things into perspective. So without further ado, I will hand all of you lovely people over to Tanya, and look forward to connecting with you at the end of the call for a question and answer period.
Thank you so much, Monica, and Mitch as well. And Charlotte, when you see this, know that I'm thinking of you, and grateful for the services that you have always provided with the space and the opportunity. My work is to hold space for the people who come to practice, and you hold space for us to do that work. So I just wanted to say thank you. And with that, hello to everybody else who's shown up. There's some wonderful friends and faces that I know and love dearly, and some people that I've never met before. And I'm so happy that you've taken this time for you to carve this time out. It's really about holding space for self. So talking about these spaces, my business is called The Inner Space. And so it is my passion to assist and facilitate practice for people to develop and cultivate a relationship to their own inner space. I think what I wrote at the beginning of, if you had a moment to look at, the blurb, I was asked to write a blurb about this time we were going to be spending together. What I wrote was, Tanya introduces the premise that our attention is the greatest commodity that we have, our attention. And that advertisers and promoters and politicians have known this for a long time. And so this time that we have now is dedicated to you taking your attention back. It's very difficult in our world right now with the media. Everyone is pulling on our attention, calling us to become aware of what's happening with not only, as usual, advertising, promotion, but right now there are so many voices that have been marginalized, voices that have been needed to be heard. And it is my hope that we are listening more than ever to those voices. And yet, if we're only listening to the voices externally, be them the unconscious ones that are telling us what we need to buy and who we need to be, which I think are challenging and important to be aware of, or the important voices that we do need to take the time to listen to, we are always then living on the external. And from that position, we can get very easily lost, be it wonderful leaders or manipulative parties that have only their own designs at the forefront of their pulling of your attention. So it's really about this practice ongoingly of coming back, a path of return to self, so that when we do once again open our gaze outward, not only our eyes, but our ears and ourselves, we will be able to notice what is coming toward us rather than it just being an unconscious barrage, and choose where we want to put our attention. So this is why the second piece that I wrote was the value, a real value of a daily body, mind, energy alignment practice. And that's what we're going to do today. A few very simple things that you can do ongoingly. It's much more important, I teach meditation classes. They're wonderful, always going deeper and deeper into the work. But it's more important that we take 5 minutes every day or a few times throughout the day than we take, an hour or 2 hours to sit in meditation, be it chanting or, deeply observing, working with energy once a week or once a month. The daily practice is what's going to create that relationship and pathway. The last thing I'll say before we get into some practice is I sort of titled this time together, as looking at self as a finely tuned instrument, as an instrument. So I just want to speak to sound and vibration, not just our attention. Our attention is drawn by vibration and sound. Everything is vibration and sound. We can't hear it with these ears always. I mean, dogs can hear much higher pitch, elephants can hear much lower, but yes, it's sound, it's vibration, everything is oscillating. Our bodies, our physical bodies, are made of matter that is, atomically oscillating, vibrating at a much slower frequency. So we can see it with these eyes that we have that are made up of matter. But there is lots that's moving at higher frequencies that we cannot see with these eyes. But now there's some ability we have through technology to capture some of that. So this is not just an ancient yogic understanding. We now scientifically understand that everything is vibrating and oscillating. So if that's so, we can be easily thrown by sound, ideas, vibration, not just people's words, but energy, and our own old thought forms, old energies butting us about. So this idea of coming into an alignment with self, creating bridges, coming back to that alignment so that we can vibrate, oscillate in harmony with self, rather than hitting up against different aspects of self and the world around us. So that's why I sort of titled this time, Tuning the Instrument That Is Self. I'm just smiling at Lisa because I got to see her face popped up. Hi, Lisa. So let us now just take a moment to define mindfulness. Mindfulness could be defined as a state of active, open attention to the present. So the attention is the key. And so we're going to begin our exploration of a few practices and creating those bridges by grabbing our own attention. These are called tinctures, or Tibetan meditation bells. They have a sound, vibration. It sounds like this. And not only does it grab our attention, sound, but it also sustains it. I hope my microphone, you can hear this sustain. So we're going to create the first of 3 bridges just with this bell. We're going to practice it now. The next time you hear the bell, you can close your eyes, just bring your full attention to your next breath. So we're going to create a bridge from thoughts to breath. When you hear the bell, it's going to grab your attention. Oh, great. Thanks, Christina, that she could hear this, the sustain. And then you'll watch your in and out breath, not just the in breath. So here we go. You can close your eyes. When you hear the bell, watch your next breath. And we'll do one more. Slowing your breath down, watch the in and out breath. Notice that your mind might want to run away from you. See what happens if you slow it down as slow as you possibly can, holding your concentration now. Okay, so taking a moment to open your eyes, you might have noticed that as you slow down the frequency of your breath, because the body, the mind, everything is connected, we can start to slow down the thoughts and it's easier to have concentration. So that's the first bridge, mind to breath, slowing down the oscillation of the breath, slowing down the frequency makes it easier to have that first bridge. The next 2 bridges are, so mind to breath, breath now to the body, so the sensations in the body. And then the third bridge is the body to the planet, to the earth. Talk about stable frequency, slow vibration. Think of how a plant, a seed grows so slowly compared to how we move, right? And how the mind moves. So when we anchor ourselves down through our body, getting a sense, and I'll talk you through it, becoming embodied is the key to presence and to aligning ourselves, tuning this instrument, mind to breath, breath to body, body to earth. So if you're ready, we're going to do that. I like to call this process landing. We're going to land here in this moment. So once again, just getting comfortable in your seat. You can uncross your feet. Feet are flat on the floor unless you're sitting with your legs tucked under. Closing your eyes, if you wish, you can gaze here at the space between the eyebrows, just with a relaxed gaze. If your eyes are wandering around, it's also difficult to come into that centered alignment. So just hold your gaze steady. And when you hear the sound of the bell, bring your full attention to your next breath, slow, watching the in and out breath. Here we go. We'll do one more, even slower, mind to breath. Now that your mind is connected to the breath, we're going to begin to observe the sensations in the body. Keep your breath moving deep, even and slow. Energy, sensation, breath, all connected. So when we constrict the breath and make it shallow, we don't feel as much sensation in the body. We don't allow energy to move through us with as great an expansion as is possible. So just allow yourself to notice how you're feeling in this moment in your body. Notice if there's areas that feel tight or uncomfortable. Notice if there's some places that feel easeful and light. Get a sense if there's density or heaviness in the body. And allow yourself to feel exactly how you feel in this moment. Nothing needs to be different. It's just about bringing your awareness through your breath into your body. And we're just going to do a little breath work here. I want you to bring your full attention to your belly now. Notice that there's movement here. And see if you are allowing the belly to be soft, or if the belly is tight and you're breathing high up in the rib cage and chest. Just going to encourage you to soften your belly, your pelvis, so that when you exhale, you can draw the navel back without forcing it. Just empty all the breath first. Don't stop the exhalation till you're fully empty. And then when you're ready to breathe in through the nose, breathe in, let your belly fill and round. And don't constrict the inhalation either. Let it go till you're full. And exhale all the breath through the nose as well. The mouth is closed. And then inhale, let your belly fill and round. Even if your mind is wandering, just keep bringing it back to your breath. Now that you have created greater capacity and space for this breath energy in your body, you can move to all the nooks and crannies, through the toes, all the way to your fingers, top of your head. So that's the second bridge, mind to breath, breath to body. And now we're going to really anchor here, stabilizing body to earth. So how we're going to do this is just reminding the body to notice that it is being supported by the chair underneath it. And underneath the chair is the floor. It's supporting the chair. Underneath your floor, you can visualize the foundation supported by the earth itself. So any tightness you're holding in your muscles in your body is sort of lifting yourself up off the earth. I'm going to invite you to invite your body to become heavy, to let the chair catch your body weight, to let the earth catch the chair. And here, we're also tuning to the reality that the form, the physical body, is made of the same matter as the earth. So not only are we supported through this gravitational pull, but we reconnect in our understanding that our body is the same matter as the planet. Of course, we're not just matter, we're also energy through the breath, thought forms, all kinds of different aspects of self. But to align ourselves, we're going to really take in and appreciate the physical body's connection to the earth. This will stabilize us. So we're going to bring our full attention now down to the soles of the feet, the heels, the toes, and get a sense of sensation inside the foot. Well, someone can mute. I think there's a replay of sound. So full attention is at the feet, and you're going to invite the feet to become heavy, releasing down from your ankles. Bringing your awareness through the ankles into your shins now and calves. Really just feel what they feel like from the inside and invite them to become heavy, releasing down from your knees. Walk your concentration into your knees now. Notice how they feel from the inside. Inviting a softening here. Holding your concentration, bring your attention into your thighs, Backs of the thighs, get a sense of them being supported by the chair. And allow the whole leg to become heavy, releasing down from your hips. Bringing your full attention now into your hips and hip joints. See if you can feel what they feel like from the inside. Inviting the hips to soften. Bringing your awareness now to your sit bones, your buttocks. Notice if there's any gripping here. And invite a softening, a release down. Let the chair catch your body weight. And here we bring our attention to the pelvic floor, the pelvic bowl, and the abdomen. And just notice the movement here. Your body is designed to receive and release the breath. Notice if you're still having that full breath, emptying all the way so that you can receive fully. If the breath has become more shallow, just notice that without judgment. And see if you can invite a little deeper of an exhalation first, and then inhale fully. You can visualize your body filling with light with each inhalation, light energy, oxygen, prana, life force energy. And with each exhalation, the body becomes heavy, releasing down, letting gravity support the body. Continue this breath now as you bring your awareness to the small of the back. Get a sense of how that feels, and then see if you can lengthen your spine. One vertebrae on top of the next without stiffness, just lengthening. Get a sense of the sensation in your whole back. And as you lengthen the spine, you might notice that your heart lifts. Let the heart lift so that there's space inside the rib cage and chest. And get a sense of the sensation there. And bring your awareness down to your fingers and hands now. Sense of how they feel, letting your hands heavy, releasing down from the wrists. Walking your attention through the forearms, the elbows, and upper arms. Let them feel how they feel as you invite them to become heavy, releasing down from your shoulders. And bring your full awareness into your shoulders and shoulder blades, maybe drawing the shoulders behind you a little bit, inviting the shoulders to drop. Walking your awareness through the neck and throat now. Notice if there's any tightness, any constriction here. Invite a softening, a relaxing of the throat. And walking your attention now into the face and head. Getting a sense of your forehead softening, the space between your eyebrows that you're gazing at softening, eyebrows, eyelids, eyeballs softening, nose, mouth, jaw releasing, ears, inner ears releasing. Bring your full attention to your scalp now. Get a sense of softening here. And bringing your attention now to your brain. Noticing the mind, the one that's listening to my voice, tracking through your body. And notice if there's any gripping in the mind and repeating, seeking, listing, commentary, judgment, assessment. And notice that this is the nature of the lower mind, to track patterns, and just let it be what it is. You are not this lower mind. It has a wonderful purpose, but you can observe it. It doesn't need to be at the forefront. Just going to observe this spinning record player of your mind for a moment. And see if you can, by slowing down your breath, invite the thought forms to slow down their spinning. Each inhalation filling with light. Each exhalation embodied, sinking down through the chair to the earth. And finding yourself present here. Perhaps touching thumbs and index fingers resting on your knee, creating a little energy circuit here called a mudra. And just take another conscious breath, feeling your body connected to the earth, your breath moving through your whole body, and your mind aware of your breath in each moment, present and embodied. So I'm going to ring the tincture now, the meditation bell, and as you gaze at the space between the eyebrows, you can watch your next in and out breath with the bell. Notice that your attention has gone to the sound as well. The next time you hear your bell, I'm going to encourage you to slowly open your eyes and just gaze softly at a space ahead of you as you track your next in and out breath. We'll do one more with your eyes open. See if you can hold a singular focus so that the whole room around you is just your peripheral vision, but your concentration is watching your next in and out breath. Very good. So we just did a process together of landing, making those 3 bridges from mind to breath, breath to body, body to earth. And this doesn't have to take very long. Once we're familiar with it, all we need to do is remember. Our eyes can be open. As soon as we're thinking of our next breath, we're coming into this moment. The lower mind that I was talking about is designed to track patterns from the past to warn us for our survival and to project those patterns into the future. So it's like, last time you ate that, you didn't feel so good. Remember, don't eat that. This is just ancient part of our brain. Now we use it for look both ways before you cross the street, for safety. But there's also so many other things we've experienced that are linked together in this part of our mind. And often we don't realize that we're looking through this lens of constant warning for our survival. Watch out, don't forget. So that's okay that that part of our mind is there. We don't need to get rid of that to be present. We just need to acknowledge that that's that role of the lower mind. And we can, by noticing and bringing our attention into our own hands like the bell did, that we are in the position now of choosing. That's the higher awareness. The observing, noticing mind that can just watch a breath, notice our sensations, notice our thoughts, which is more meditation than mindfulness, as well as being able to then choose where we want to put our attention. And that's the creative. So the higher awareness, you can think of it as yin and yang. The yin is the noticing, receiving, and the yang is the choosing, creating mind. So we're going to do a few creative things that we can do with this noticing, creating mind. A few techniques that you can use that are very simple. But even if all you have during the day is to make those bridges, those 3 bridges, that's how I like to teach, very simply, mind to breath, breath to body, body to earth, you've done your landing. Okay, so let's now look at the breath itself. We're going to do something called a pranayama, which is a breath technique that's a really fun one because it's sonic. And I talked in the beginning of us as an instrument that we are aligning. So I'm sure even if you're new to a meditation practice or a mindfulness practice, you've all heard of the Om. We're not going to be doing Om, but you've heard of this AUM, Om. There's so much to this sound. There's so much history and wisdom and knowledge around this frequency and this sound. But I just want to talk about sound itself. The vibration of the hum, the om, the hum, is something that stimulates the vagus nerve in the brain. And the ancient yogis must have understood from the effect of this, but now modern science, neuroscience, we understand that when there's a hum vibration in the body, it stimulates the vagus nerve, which brings us into the parasympathetic nervous system. That means we're moving from that lower mind of watch out, fight, flight, freeze state, survival, into rest and digest. So this is something we can do for ourselves to tune this instrument. And instead of doing the om, we're going to do the buzzing bee breath. It is a hum, and I'm going to show you how to do it. We'll just do 3. If you have glasses, you'll need to take them off. We're going to, don't do it yet, or you won't be able to hear me. We're going to close our ears with our thumbs, pressing those little flaps into the ear. We're going to take our hands, gently rest them on the eyes without pushing the eye at all, just resting them there. And we're going to take a full inhalation. The belly will be full. And when you exhale, hum the whole out breath. Your whole body will vibrate, and you'll see it's kind of like a sorbet for the mind. You can't think old pattern thoughts when the whole brain, everything is vibrating. So it's a really wonderful technique. Shall we do it? We'll do 3. You can close your ears, close your eyes, relax your shoulders. We're going to take a belly breath in, and then as long as you can, hum. Hold your gaze steady. We'll do 2 more. One more. When you're done, just bring your hands down to your knees, take a few conscious breaths. Notice as you gaze at that steady point, the space between the eyebrows, breathing deep. Notice how you feel in your body. Notice a steadiness in your mind. And maintaining a connection to your breath and your body, to the earth as you open your eyes, coming back into an awareness of the room around you as you take a conscious breath, resting your eyes ahead of you. Beautiful. So we've done some landing, we've done some realigning, we've done some attuning through the buzzing bee breath. And it's not recommended to do this buzzing bee breath if you're feeling angry or frustrated. That kind of frequency, we can end up pushing the sound out. It's not what we want to do. So if you're feeling really frustrated, don't do that technique. There are other breath techniques like the lion's breath technique that are helpful, but we're not going to do that one today. So another technique that I'd like to show you, especially if your mind is super busy running around and you just feel like you want to jump out of your skin and it's difficult for you as a new meditator to bring your awareness inward, we're going to use our physical body. You can call this take 5, this technique, to connect mind to breath, breath to body, and body to gravity. And what we're going to do is you're going to take your dominant hand. We're going to do both. Take your dominant hand, open your non-dominant hand. And without doing it, just watch me for a moment. We're going to take an inhalation as we kind of stroke up the thumb. And when we're full of breath, only then we're going to exhale going down. And we're going to go through all the fingers. You can do with your eyes open or closed. If they're open because you don't feel like going inward, watch your finger. Watch that. But regardless, see if you can feel the sensation from the hand that is touching and the hand that is being touched. Feel sensation in both. And we're just going to take slow 5 breaths. So when you're ready, you can close your eyes or watch your finger. Inhale up the thumb. Exhale down. Don't go until you're full empty of breath. Only when you're ready to breathe in, move up. See if you can coordinate so you get to the peak of the finger when you're full of breath. Making it as slow as you can. Inhale up. Exhale. Just connecting to your body, to your breath and sensation. And the pinky. When you're ready, we're going to switch. You're going to use your non-dominant hand. We're going to do the same exercise. Only when you're ready, you can empty the breath first. Inhale, come on up the thumb. Do it in your own time. Exhaling down. This can be very tender. Especially during pandemic, we don't get a lot of touch. It's beautiful. So when you're done, you can rub your hands together. And you can place your hands wherever you need a little extra support. Maybe it's your heart, maybe it's your eyes. You just need to go inward. Maybe you have some pain in your lower back. You can put your hands there. Our energy goes where our thoughts go. So by placing our hands somewhere, that can assist us in focusing that energy. Beautiful. For some reason, I'm hearing some feedback. I wonder if someone, oh, Aura, one of your, I'm so happy you're here, Aura, but one of your mics is open. Okay. So that's another technique that you can use, the count of 5. And I'm thinking we'll do one more technique if that's good with you. This is a simple one. Let's say you can't be making hums or ohms in the office. You just need you could do your fingers, but if that looks crazy, maybe just go to the washroom and do it. But this is something you can do that no one will know about. So can you please take a moment to get a pen and a paper? Okay. So if you don't have a pen and paper, I'm going to give you a minute. Don't rush. Oh, Katie, I'm so glad to hear you found that relaxing. And Monica too. Thanks for your feedback. Helen, oh my goodness, my heart. I'm so happy you're here. This is one of my lifetime mamas in my life. That's very meaningful. Okay, so if you have a pen and paper, can you write in the chat and just say, got it, or yep, or something? Yes, thank you. Ready? Yes, yes, got it. Excellent. Yes. I'm wondering if it's the Elaine I know, or a yay. Okay. I'm assuming Mitch has got it. Monica, and then, okay. All right, so we're going to do a little drawing mindfulness, a little drawing meditation. And what we're going to do very simply, and you can see here my paper, so don't do anything yet. What we're going to do is take our pen. You've got a blank piece of paper, like your blank moment, like your new day. And I'm doing a lot of drawing meditations with people these days. I find it wonderful for young people or older people. It's really not age specific. So you're going to place your pen, when you're ready, you're going to place your pen down on the page and you're going to begin to draw a circle. You're going to watch the pen as it makes a circle and make sure that your end touches the beginning. So it's not unconscious, it's a conscious circle. From this circle, you can make another circle. It can be bigger, small. You're just going to be breathing, making lots of circles. Now, after you've done a few of these, you may discover that you want to do a spiral. If you're going to do a spiral, make your full circle first. Be mindful that they touch beginning to end, and then you can spiral all the way into the center of your circle, finding a center point. You could take a breath there at the center point of your spiral, and then find your way to another circle. That's it. Just going to do some conscious circles. Okay, so go ahead. We'll take a couple minutes. You can make little ones, tiny circles to fill in the gaps between circles. Watch the pen. So this isn't mindless doodling. This is intentional. I'm going to add something else to this now. I'm going to invite you to notice your breath and see if you can coordinate your breath with the circle. So that means you inhale as you begin, exhaling your whole breath, and when you're empty, you touch the end of your circle. So if it's a small circle, you're going to be drawing very slowly. If it's a bigger circle, you can draw more quickly. If you're wanting to do a spiral, you'll do your circle breath in and out, and then just breathe a whole round for the spiral, in and out till you end with your exhale at the dot in the middle, so that you're ready to once again begin another circle, ending at the dot, either in the middle of the spiral or the beginning point. Does that make sense? Okay, I'll stop talking now. Enjoy for the next 2 minutes. Notice if you feel frustrated by how slowly the circles are going. And if you do, just allow that. Don't fight any thought or feeling. If you stay with your gaze following, you'll fall back into your breath, your body, and this present moment. And we're going to do one more circle. So wherever you are, begin a new one when you're ready. Ending with your exhalation at the end point and stay there, or you can do a spiral for a little extra added breath and ending in the center of your spiral. So everyone's pen is at a single point now. Gaze at that point, and as you inhale, lift your pen up off the page. So you've just bridged your observing mind and creative mind, your breath, your body. And if anyone wants to share, you can hold yours up. They're gonna all look different from each other, so that can be fun. Doesn't have to look like anything. If anyone's willing to share and turn on their camera, that'd be fun. Oh yeah, Lisa, let's see, bring it a little closer. Oh, wonderful, thank you. Jen, are you willing? Maybe, oh yeah, bring it a little closer. How wonderful. Thank you. So, they're all different. Oh, Christina and Aura, thank you. I'm looking across the top now. Wonderful. There's no right or wrong way to do this, to express our lives, to be present, and to create our moments. We can just enjoy them, appreciate them, the process while we're in them, and then take moments to celebrate them. Make your meal. I'm thinking of you, Lisa, the beautiful, delicious meal, the process of it, and then take the time to enjoy it. Love the circles. Thank you. The curcles. I'm thinking it's like curly Q circles. So we have 12 minutes here, and I just thought maybe what we would do is any Q&A or commentary now around mindfulness, how you can bring that into your life. And then I'll share a little bit about maybe some programs you might want to do. I have one thing that's happening this summer and some online stuff I can tell you about. And then we'll conclude with just a quick conscious breath, mind to breath, breath to body, body to earth, and we'll say goodbye. So are there any questions, any comments? You can write them in the chat if you don't feel comfortable unmuting. Can't believe I get to see Christina and Aura. Like, this is like a treat and a half. Oh my gosh.
Not a question, just a comment.
Yes.
Happy to see you too.
Thank you. So good.
Hi, Tanya. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Great to see you too. This is a treat, and lunchtime so I can join. Yay. I just wondered if you could talk briefly about the distinction between mindfulness and meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you touched on it a bit when you said, it's noticing our thoughts, but I guess I want to try and frame it somehow of what each brings.
I think that's a great way to put it, that it's framing it, because language is a tricky thing. There's so many different ways that people define this work, and language is an interpretation. People around the world speak different languages, but we all have the same architecture of how we function. We have different ways of expressing what it is. So for me, with that said, the interpretation and framework that I like to look at it with is mindfulness is the practice of presence, which is then necessary. It's a piece of the meditation practice. we require using mindfulness in order to develop concentration, which is also essential for meditation. We cannot, and I will define meditation as the constant observation of the mind. We cannot maintain a singularity, a point of observation, and maintain that without building that muscle. So this practice of presence is a foundational step. It suffices in itself for us to engage in being in our lives, eating mindfully, breathing mindfully, listening mindfully. You know, we can do it walking mindfully. We can live mindfully, meaning being aware of self. Now, when I teach meditation foundations, I talk about this self I'm referring to. How can we be mindful of self if we don't know what self is? So when I say self, I'm talking about the whole self. That means, in Sanskrit, the koshas, the layers of self, the physical anatomy, the energy body, which is the breath and energy, being aware of the mind, which is thoughts and feelings. And aware doesn't mean trying to change, alter, fix, just aware. Because when we're aware of what we're thinking and how we're feeling, we can make space for it. We don't necessarily even need to share it all the time. And we're certainly not going to be reactive from it. We're going to share it with ourselves. And then we can choose. Now we can move into the higher awareness. That's the observing mind that we're cultivating a connection to. The observing mind and the creative mind, they work together. You know, once you're observing, you can choose and you can create. So this pathway of meditation, you know, when I teach the foundations first, always the architecture, developing that muscle, the practice of daily practice, because we're also creating neural pathways in the mind. The more we do, and then we've got lots of neural pathways that are like, you go into the donut shop one day, no problem, there's no habit. But then the next day you walk by, if you go and you get a donut again, now we've got a neural pathway there. Every day you're going to think of that donut, right? So it's very natural for us to have neural pathways, and many of them are unconscious from those external messages. As meditators, we get to choose some of those pathways, strengthen them so that they're easier for us to tune to and come back to that harmonic alignment that we were doing before. There's just so much to say about it, but that's a long-winded answer to the connection between mindfulness and meditation. And the meditation practice is, you know, that image of the lotus, the 1,000-petal lotus that opens and then opens and opens. That's the practice of meditation. You can ever go deeper and deeper. There's, I think Trisha's here, or she was here. She's been practicing with me for so many years now. And we just keep going in our advanced group. There's more to explore, more to study, to do inquiry around, and more of our own presence with self that we can be with, simply just being with self. We continue to grow and expand. So are there any other questions?
Wow, that was fabulous. I have to tell you, Tanya, this part was really great, and something I'm definitely going to share with my kids, because I think it like doesn't take long. And if the one's working in the office and she just needs to just be grounded, it's a really good thing. Even if it's under the desk, she's doing it with just, you know, I'm a what do you call it? Physical, like tactile. I like to, I'm a that's the word. I'm a tactile. So I think it's a really great way to share that with her as well. So thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. I work with kids a lot. I teach at the Worry Buster program at the Markham Stouffville Hospital doing yoga and mindfulness. And I also teach yoga and mindfulness, you know, through the inner space. And I love working with children. These are life tools. And if they can get them young, you know, I started my practice at 25. So that's great. Now I'm 50. So half my life I've had some tools, some good tools.
Yes.
They keep expanding. But had I had some younger, I would have been so grateful to be able to know how to be with self. So
yeah, and that's exactly it, getting the tools and using them without feeling, like if they're in a work environment and they're,
it
people
looks
around.
woo-woo. Yeah.
What is she doing?
There are
I think
ways.
there's ways to do it, to just ground yourself during the workday. And for the people that are on the call, I wanted to let you know that we did record this. It will be going on our YouTube channel as well. So any point in your crazy hectic day or week and you just need to, you can always come back, because we have Tanya's Lunch and Learn session live for you to watch it again and again and again. So, it's going to be like Groundhog Day. Everybody's going to go on. And that's a good habit to form, though, right? Because you were talking about those habits. And when you make that a part of your self wellness habit, it just helps in the future with everything, with the way you handle anxiety and stress and everything like that. So thank you again so much for coming on.
My pleasure. And do you think it's okay if we end with like a little coming back to self?
Just one quick question. I wanted to say thank you as well to everyone that was able to join us. And like I said, you'll be able to watch it on our YouTube channels. And we're really grateful that we have such incredible speakers like Tanya to help us build our virtual Lunch and Learn community. I just wanted to give you a heads up for next week, Wednesday. We're going to have Mike Popovici, who's kind of doing like an introduction to Qigong. I hope I'm saying that right. Finding your outlet, Qigong. See, already messed it up. Finding your outlet, relief and balance, and understanding the three brains. So that is also posted on our Facebook and Eventbrite and everything that you can connect. But yes, please take us through the proper ending of your session.
Okay, and Monica has also generously offered she'll reach out to everyone who's attended with my contact information. If you're interested in doing a summer meditation session, I'm also going to be, as I said, creating an online meditation foundations course so that I'm not always teaching it. Like, you'll be able to have it. It's mostly filmed. It'll be put together so that exists in the world. So that's happening. So you could, just send me an email saying you're interested, and then when it's ready. Okay, so with that, thank you, Monica. Thank you, Mitch, for holding the space for today. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Let's bring your attention back to you. So we'll do those 3 bridges so that you find your way much more efficiently. When you hear the bell, close your eyes, watch your next in and out breath. Slow it down. Oh, that's exciting. Your bells are on, Monica.
Sorry.
It's okay. They're bells. Just watch your breath. Let your whole body feel the benefit of the breath moving through it. And as you exhale, let your body weight release down to the earth underneath you. Finding yourself present and embodied, connected to your breath. Each moment, a new breath is there for you. So you can always come back by watching your breath. Thank you for this opportunity to be with you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, a wonderful lunch, if you haven't had it already while we were working together. Namaste. Happy Thursday, Aura. Thank you, Elaine. Thank you, Lisa. Bye, Trisha.